guys, so today's revision video is going to be all about fruits and vegetables as a commodity. So you know that commodities are groups of ingredients that are put together into a category. So today it's the turn of fruits and vegetables. We've done this in class, but this is just extra for you. I recommend that you try and make your own mind map or revision cards off of this video. So to start with, we're going to talk about the storage of fruits and vegetables. So fruits and vegetables, no matter the type, should all be stored in a dry, cool place. So at home this is going to be like a cupboard. In my classroom it's kind of like the cupboard by my desk. But remember, this GCSE is about thinking like a chef, and the chef would refer to this kind of area as the dry store. So the next thing that I'm going to do is go over some of the categories of fruits and vegetables. So most simply, fruits and vegetables can be broken down into two categories: fruits and vegetables. Fruits have seeds, vegetables don't. But what I'm doing at the minute is just breaking fruits down into 4 different categories as a way of categorising them. It is not the only way, it is just a way that is quite simple. So the first section I've got on there are citrus fruits. So examples of these are oranges, lemons and limes. So they've all got quite a thick peel that you have to remove, and they all add a sharp citrus taste to a dish if they're used in them. The next one again is very easy, it's berries, so strawberries, raspberries and blueberries. The next one are exotic fruits, so these are things like mango and lychee that I've put down as an example. Popular fruits that I've included are apple and banana. Now obviously banana doesn't grow in the UK, it is an exotic fruit, but because it is so popular and commonly used in this country, it's actually classed as a popular fruit because we just expect it to be available at all times. So the next thing that I'm doing is categorising vegetables, and I did forget one whilst I was doing this. I did forget bulbs, and these are things like onions and garlic, but we have discussed this. Now the first category that I've included are roots. So this is where we actually eat the edible root of a plant, and these are things like carrots and parsnips. The next one can be a little bit more confusing and difficult to understand. These are tubers. So sometimes off of the roots underground there are additional growths and they can be edible. So some examples of edible versions of these are potatoes and sweet potatoes. I've then moved on to shoots and stems, and this is where we actually eat the shoot and the stem of a plant. So my examples are asparagus and celery, but you can also get things like bean sprouts and bamboo shoots, which again are all vegetables that are shoots and stems. My next category are leafy vegetables. So salad leaves count as leafy vegetables, so things like lettuce, but I've included spinach and cabbage in this section, and all of the leaves are edible. The next one I've spoken about, it looks like a H but it does say flowers, and my examples are cauliflower and broccoli, and these are known as the flower heads of a plant, and we actually eat the flowers of the plant. The next category is seeds, and examples of seeds that we eat are things like peas and sweet corn, but also things like broad beans that come out of a pod, so it can be a category known as pods and seeds. The last one that is on there is fungi, and an example of this are mushrooms, but you can also get truffles. The last thing to cover when we're talking about the types of fruits and vegetables are the form that they have been preserved with, because obviously we mostly eat fresh fruits and vegetables, but it's becoming more common for us to eat other types, and there's loads of benefits to these. Because they've been preserved, it means that they are available for us for a much longer period of time. They're not going to go off, or it's going to take much longer for them to go off. So the first category are dried fruits. So my example is raisins, which are obviously dried grapes. But you can get loads of different types, so like bananas, mango, and as you know that I talk about quite a lot, you can get dried apricots, which are really, really high in iron, so good for teenage girls. You can also get canned or tinned fruits and vegetables. So recently we've used canned pineapple for our sweet and sour chicken, but we do often use canned tomatoes. You can also get frozen fruits and vegetables. Now, it's really, really good to use frozen fruits and vegetables because they are frozen really quickly after they've been picked or harvested. They retain a lot more nutrients than if they'd been left fresh and then travelled to this country and then stored in our kitchens for a while. Because they've been frozen straight away, none of those vitamins have had time to kind of leach out of them. My next category on there are juices. So I've included orange juice as an example, but there's obviously lots of different types of juice that you can get. I've also included jams. Now, jams, glacé, and the rest of my categories of preserved fruits and vegetables have all had lots of sugar added to them, so these aren't healthier options. So an example of jam is strawberry jam. You've used this when making jam tarts, for example. You can also get glacéed fruit. So again, these are like all the next three examples are all kind of like soaked in sugar. So these are really, really unhealthy. And because they're so high in sugar, it kind of outweighs the benefits of eating fruits and vegetables, because there's so much sugar in them, and they are so bad for you. So you would have used glacé cherries in school. We would have used these when we've made Bakewell tart and things like that. So the next thing that I'm going to talk about are the uses of fruits and vegetables. Now, you've all completed the fruits and vegetables task for your coursework, so we did lots of work on this about the different reasons you use fruits and vegetables, and these are just some of the reasons why we use fruits and vegetables. So you can use fruits and vegetables to add colour to a dish, to add flavour to a dish, to add texture to a dish, as an added extra, as part of your 5 a day, as a layer, as a garnish, or as a base. Now, obviously lots and lots of fruits and vegetables are really vibrant and bright in colour, so they will add a bright, vibrant colour to your dish. So my example are carrots in a stir fry. The next one I've spoken about is garlic as an example of fruits or vegetables that add flavour. Lots of you made garlic bread for coursework too, and obviously you got a strong garlicky flavour from the garlic. The next example are fruits and vegetables used for texture. So an example of this are peppers in fajitas. So peppers are quite firm when they're uncooked, but the longer that you cook them for, the softer they become and the less crunchy they are. So you can cook them for different amounts of time to get different texture. If you use any fruits or vegetable that is not needed in a recipe, you are using it as an added extra. Fruits and vegetables are much cheaper than meat, so they can really bulk out a recipe without increasing the cost too much. You can also use fruits and vegetables as part of your 5 a day, just to increase the nutrition. You can use them as a layer, so an example is lemon curd in a lemon meringue pie, which you've made. You can also use fruits and vegetables to garnish and decorate, so an example of this is a salad to garnish a main meal, or some raspberries to decorate a cheesecake. So the next thing I'm going to talk about is how we prepare fruits and vegetables. Now, before you even start preparing fruits and vegetables, you should be checking that they're ripe. And all fruits and vegetables should be quite firm when they're ripe, but they should have a little bit of give in them. If they're too soft, that means they're overripe. If they're hard, then that means they're not ripe. And in supermarkets, they sell fruits and vegetables which are underripe, which gives you a little bit of time to ripen them at home. So once your fruits and vegetables are ripe, you can prepare them in lots of different ways. So some fruits and vegetables need to be peeled. So an example of this is an orange. We don't typically eat the peel of an orange unless we're zesting a little bit of it into a recipe to get a bit more flavour. You can de-seed some fruits and vegetables, so like a pepper, whereas with a chilli, if you're trying to add chilli to increase the heat of a dish, you might not want to de-seed it. We want to core some fruits and vegetables, so like a pineapple, the core of it is really fibrous and tough, so we want to take the core out. Some fruits you want to stone, so to remove the stone in the middle. You want to crush some fruits and vegetables, like garlic, and you can chop some fruits and vegetables, like onion. So the next thing I'm going to talk about is how we can cook fruits and vegetables. Now, different fruits and vegetables can be cooked in lots and lots of different ways. Almost all fruits and vegetables can be used with a couple of cooking methods, and an example of this are peppers. So peppers could be stir-fried, or you could hollow them out and you could fill them with couscous and you could bake them. You could mix them with some other vegetables and you could do like a roasted vegetable bake or something like that. You could also just simply fry them. You could fill them with something like cheese and you could deep fry them. There's loads of different ways. Now, with all fruits and vegetables, the healthiest way to cook them is to steam them. So because steaming doesn't add any fat, we're not making them unhealthy in any way. We're keeping them really, really healthy. And because they're not immersed in anything like oil or fat or water, none of the vitamins and minerals are going to come out. They're going to keep all of that inside the fruits and vegetables, so that when you eat them, they're going to be really, really high in vitamins and minerals still. They're not going to leach out, okay? So that's always going to be the healthiest way. So if you can ever change your recipe so that you steam your fruits and vegetables, that's going to be the best option. The next thing I'm going to cover is the cost of fruits and vegetables. Now, being very general, fruits and vegetables are really cheap. They aren't very much money, and you can get quite a lot of fruits or vegetables for your money, so weight-wise they can be really, really cheap. The only types of fruits and vegetables that can be more expensive are things that are organic, exotic or speciality. So the other day in Waitrose they were selling some yellow carrots instead of orange carrots, and they were much more expensive than the standard ones. In a recipe it's going to be much cheaper to reduce the amount of meat and up the amounts of vegetables, and it's going to work out really cheap for you. The next thing I'm going to talk about are the sensory qualities of fruits and vegetables. Now, because obviously this commodity covers so many different types of foods and fruits and vegetables, each of them have their own individual sensory qualities. So some can be really, really bright, so things like carrot and pepper, whereas some of them can give you strong flavour. So for example, garlic's going to give you a strong flavour, but it's not going to add any colour and not really add much texture. Something like mushroom, they're going to give a really, really earthy flavour, but they're actually going to give quite a bland appearance because they're not going to add a nice, bright, colourful colour. So it absolutely depends on the type of fruit or vegetable. You need to be aware that they all have different sensory qualities, and you need to be able to talk about their different sensory qualities. So the last thing that I need to talk about is the nutrition of fruits and vegetables. Now, obviously we know that fruits and vegetables are really, really healthy. We've got the 5-a-day guideline telling us to have 5 different fruits and vegetables a day. So 80 grams of fruits and vegetables counts as one portion of your 5 a day, unless they're dried, and then it's only 25 grams. But fruits and vegetables are good because they've got loads of fibre in them. They've got loads of iron in them. So for example, kale has got lots and lots of iron in it. Dark green leafy vegetables. And that's going to be really good for teenage girls, like we already mentioned with apricots, which are really high in iron. Vitamin A is often found in fruits and vegetables, so things like carrots. So the old thing about being able to see in the dark, that's because carrots are really high in retinol, which is a type of vitamin A. Fruits and vegetables can be really high in vitamin B, so vitamin B helps to release energy from starchy carbohydrates. So they're found in starchy carbohydrates, which include potatoes. Fruits and vegetables are really high in vitamin C, so vitamin C supports our immune system, and oranges are an example of this type of vitamin. Fruits and vegetables can be really, really high in vitamin E. Vitamin E helps us to get healthy cells, so spinach is really high in vitamin E. And then I forgot to add that there is more fibre in the skins of fruit and vegetable than there is in the flesh. So if you can keep the skins on some potatoes, it's going to be really healthy.